when you file a civil suit, let me tell you why you can't trust it all. Because any lawyer that does it, they usually do it with the hopes, if you're a public figure, that they can embarrass you.
And you settle. And
you're just like, how much does this cost to go away? Like, I didn't do it, but I just want it to go away. So a lot of these civil lawsuits and these lawsuits of everything, they have nothing to do with like criminal time. It's money you going after, and when you list other names, like, and she lists Def Jam, you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Universal Music is a publicly traded company. They want that shit to go away
quickly.
So they might even tell Kevin, we'll pay.
Right.
Like, they got insurance for stuff like this, right? So they want this to go away. But when we start, to me, it's very important to acknowledge that when you go after somebody that did something to you and you don't go criminal first, and it's 5-10 years that went by, that feels like you sat around and said, how can I get some money from this dude? And by the way, lawyers for the sue, it's very important to say this. If I want to sue you, Jack, and I can get a lawyer to take my case, I'm gonna deal. The deal I make with the lawyers, they get 1/3 of what I make. Typically, sometimes they say 40. Some people go as low as 25. But they know whatever you get, they getting something. You getting sued, you gotta pay a lawyer now. So that means while the person suing you is in court, they in there with a lawyer that's a pit bull trying to get anything like you trying to get anything. They don't even care. Your lawyer you're paying is the one you're the one actually losing money for this. So that's another thing they'll say, hey, Ray, look. Well, not Ray, but like, hey, look, man. I don't want to put my name out there, but like, hey, listen, man, it's going to cost you $300,000 legal fees at our guesstimation, and you could settle for $60K. Like, as much as you don't want to, like, but it's like, you know what?
Get up out of here.
Let me get the fuck up out of here. And then it looks like you did something wrong when you really just settle. So we got to just factor that into a lot of these lawsuits, money lawsuits, is that these people are hoping that the Kevin Liles does what Diddy did when Cassie filed her lawsuit.
The $30 million.
Put that shit out, settle.
Tomorrow.
Some of this, though, I mean, ultimately it's up to the prosecutor in whichever state you're filing in. So even if you do want to go criminal, you can turn all of the evidence. So a lot of these civil cases, when people do it the right way, a lot of the civil cases, like the prosecution can go pick up that case and look at all of the evidence that came with it and then decide to file charges. Like with Diddy, they saw Cassie's lawsuit. They know, hey, y'all done did a lot of the work for us. We got a lot of evidence right there. Let's see what they got. And we're going to add it to ours. We're going to do, because the kidnapping charges is the Cassie situation. She was trying to flee. You pulled her back into a hotel room. Now you got kidnapping charges. Like, that what came from that civil suit. So civil cases can help lead to criminal case, sure, in criminal charges, but ultimately it's up to that prosecutor to file the charges against them. So
see, by the way, thank you for that. That's great intel. No, that's because I didn't know that.
You can go directly to them with it, like, so there is a way for the people that you're saying, get criminal justice as well, because you'll see some people file charges and file, like if I want to press charges against somebody that put hands on me, I can go do that. You can file charges like that as well, but it's ultimately up to the prosecutor. Like, are we gonna take the case or we not? Is it big enough to do it or not? So
you see what happened with Puff. Nigga, they was like, I'll pick that up. I'll take that one.
Yes. I wonder if he gonna do like how it was with R. Kelly when different states started saying that they was gonna do it, and then ultimately it was like Georgia was like, we don't even gotta do it because he ain't getting out anyway, so we just gonna let it go, and y'all got it, and he'll be in prison forever. That's crazy, man.
What else we got?
Y'all gotta keep your hands to yourselves. So, what do you think about the Jane Doe with Jay-Z saying that he was intimidating her and that's why she dropped the suit? Or dropped the case and all of that, like he was sending shots.
I will say this: if you're gonna file a lawsuit, I don't think you should be a Jane Doe. A civil lawsuit, you should be able to be a Jane Doe if you're an adult. If you're a child and you want to protect your, it's different. But like an adult, if someone said they did something to you,
you should stand on it.
Yeah, you should stand. I don't think the court should allow you to be a Jane Doe. Is what I'm saying.
Well, when it's associated with certain lawsuits, they kind of have to give you that right, because certain lawsuits, when they go public, this is a public record, and a lot of them have very sensitive topics and subjects, and they go into deep detail about what the sexual assault may have entailed. And a lot of people don't want their name attached directly to that, or somebody being able to Google it and go pull it up and pay, you know, the court fees to have that case and know everything about you. So I agree in certain, you know.
By the way, you're a lawyer, so I know you know the law. Yeah.
Sometimes they have to give you that right, because especially with these sensitive topics, it's like we're talking about
people might
rape
death
and
threats.
and all those kind of things, and it's like, you know, if people are evil, so you just don't know what they would do with that information. So they have to give you that right.
Can remain anonymous, so should the case. Then if you can remain anonymous, then make sure the case is anonymous too. Like, let's make sure that I'm the J Doe getting sued and no one knows it's me. Let's make sure of that then, if that's the case. I agree. By the way, I'm with you on that. But like, you should not be able to put my name. That's what Jay-Z was shooting for. You should not be able to put my name in while my kids can read that I raped someone that I know I didn't, and she doesn't have to say her name. Now I'm fighting the ghost. Basically. She should say her name. And to me, I agree with Jay on that term. Unless she said his name and the only person who knew was him, and it was a private lawsuit. Mm-hmm. This is private Jane Doe filed a lawsuit against John Doe and Jimmy Doe, and no one wants them to know, and then we find out those are Puff and Jay, then it's different. But if you're going to say my name, you need to say yours too.
Oh.
Nigga. What y'all think?
Moving forward with suing Tony, and that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who?
Suing Tony.
Oh yeah, I think he should. By the way, I hope he win.
Yeah.
I hope he win. I'm tired of these fire chasers.
Definitely.
Yeah, Tony, but he's known in Texas to go after.
This nigga had a 1-800 Diddy hurt me line. Like, come on, bro.
He
That's
did.
crazy.
He did.
Nigga, you giving anybody who's sitting at home with a hurt leg a reason to say, I think he did this to me. Come on, you know what you're doing.
Dancing to
Is
more money,
Sarah
more
being-
problems.
He said what?
Is Sarah being represented by Tony too?
I don't know. You know, he represents like 100 victims from Diddy's cases. Like,
But he's the one that went after Deshaun Watson too.
well, I heard
Right.
Deshaun Watson has been alleged to do some weird things a few times.
But
Not
I'm
just
just
by
saying, it seems
him.
like that's his niche, like weird
yeah.
shit.
Now I'm glad somebody's suing him for that shit. Let's go to the next subject.